And now from the field of sports, or rather formerly from the field of sports, we bring you a man who, after 17 years as a prize fighter, has suddenly blossomed out as Hollywood's #1 glamour man and is currently appearing in the Warner Brothers picture Women in the Wind. In this corner, the ex-light heavyweight champion of the world and present holder of the California heavyweight title, Slapsie Maxie Rosenbloom.
Thanks, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, including you too, Bob. I'm certainly glad to be here on such a suspicious occasion. And I want to do good because some of my most ignorant friends are listening in.
We're happy to have you with us, Maxie.
A mere bagatelle, Bob. Tired as I am from a very strenuous day in front of the Krieg lights, your kind words make my heart soar to the heights of idiosyncrasies, and I thank you again.
Max, look, this radio match was promoted so we could corner you into an interview. What do you say we start slugging questions?
Ask me anything, chump.
Yes. Well, Maxie, now that you've become quite a film star, is it true that you're giving up fighting entirely?
Bob, I'll tell you. And I say this in all theoretical. The studios do take up a great deal of my time, but fisticuffs are not entirely overlooked in my daily dilly-dallying.
You still keep in training, huh?
I was training last night at the Trocadero. Say, why should I mention that place? I got a cafe of my own I ought to plug.
Yeah, that's right. It's called Slapsie Maxie's. How's the cafe doing, Max?
I'm very happy to say that business is exceptionally helter-skelter. And we cater to the most extinguished people.
Yes, I understand it's very high class.
It's better than high class. Why, last week we raised the cover charge to 15 cents just to keep out the riffraff.
Yeah, well, that should do it, Maxie. Yeah.
Of course, once in a while you get a noisy night.
What happened last night?
Well, we was right in the middle of our big floor show extravaganza when in comes one of the most annoying individuals we've ever had in our joint, rendezvous. The guy was strictly a loudmouth hoodlum.
A real rowdy, huh?
Rowdy? Well, that guy got me so illuminated that I was going to suck him right in the kisser. But you can't do them things in a high-class place like mine.
No, of course. Now, well, what did you do?
Oh, nothing. I just blacked his eyes, kicked him in the teeth, and threw him out on his head.
It's a lie. I walked out like a perfect gentleman. Where am I? Oh, Bob, it's you. I guess I'm a little flustered. Must have been dozing or something. Well, what can you expect from a man who just lost a fortune overnight?
Lost a fortune overnight? Frank, what are you talking about?
Well, I went to sleep feeling like $1 million and woke up feeling like 2 cents. That's one of the bon mots I use in my Morgan for Senator campaign speeches. You know how the people are, Bob. They like their senators with a sparkle of wit.
Yes, in your case, Frank, they're half right.
What? I can think of 7 very nauseating comebacks to that remark, but I'll need your vote in the coming election.
Frank, do you know Maxie Rosenbloom?
That unscrupulous politician? Bob, he hasn't a chance against me. The people know that Morgan is their man for senator, and when I'm elected, I'll tell them...
Frank, that this is Rosenbloom right here. Maxie Rosenbloom, the former world's light heavyweight champion.
Yes, well, I don't care if he's the what? Maxie. Rosenbloom. Of course. Well, I'm glad to know you, Mr. Rosenbloom.
The feeling is vice versa.
Yeah. So you're a pugilist, eh, my good man?
Quite so, if you must be irrelevant.
The mere mention of the prize ring and how my thoughts rush back to those good old days, when I, too, was an outstanding exponent of the manly art of self-defense.
Mr. Morgan, you'll have to excuse a man of my intelligence for not knowing nothing. But I never heard about you being a prize fighter.
Small wonder, my boy. That was in the dear dim past, the golden era.
I suppose you must have battled at the old Madison Square Garden.
Years ago, when it was known as the old Madison Round Garden, and the scene of some of my most terrific ring encounters. I'll never forget my last fight there, a 57-round bout to a finish. The Marquis of Queensberry rules, bare fists, knuckles down, and no fudging. My opponent was Knockout Hogan. Poor fellow, in that fight, he went berserk, lost his mind completely.
What happened? Too many punches in the head?
No, but in those days we fought in a circular ring, and he went crazy looking for his corner. Yes, well, I gave up the fight game after that, and then, after many varied careers, became an actor. Now, as a crowning achievement to my meteoric existence, I have thrown my hat in the senatorial ring.
Do you really think the people in the pools will allocate you for senator?
Most decidedly, Mr. Rosenbloom, and I sincerely trust that I can count on you to cast your vote for senator in favor of the people's friend, Frankie Morgan. Fearless, dependable, honest, and with unquestioned integrity. I wear no man's collar. Have a cigar. Any babies to kiss? They must be over 18.
I'll vote for you, if you'll do me a favor.
Don't worry, my good man. I'll find you a nice, soft political job. Maybe head chicken inspector or the like, eh?
No, that ain't what I mean.
No?
You see, I kind of give up the fight racket to devote mostly my time being a matinee idol.
Oh.
And you can see that I kind of help out an awful lot, but I can have big words. After all, I got my cinema career to think about, and you, being a fine actor of ill repute, you can help me.
You've come to the right man, Mr. Rosenbloom. The theater boasts of no more distinguished alumni than the Morgans. My great-great-grandfather, John Wilkes Morgan, was the original Hamlet.
Yeah, and his great-great-grandson, Frank Morgan, is the original Ham.
Yes. An uncalled for remark from the sidelines, my tepid-tongued young master of Moreau's laryngeal liquidation.
You see, that's what I mean. I want to be able to kick them big words around like you.
Yes?
Not only for the sake of the Academy Award, but when them dames and debutantes come into my cafe, I got to know just how to talk to them.
Yes, well, I'll be only too glad to lend my assistance to your grammatical edification. Try this bit of a stanza as a sort of a starter. Coruscate, diminutive stellar orb. How inexplicable to this baffled individual seems the stupendous perplexity of your existence.
What does that mean?
Well, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder where you are. Come on, Mr. Rosenbloom, give it a try. Coruscate.
Consecrate. The minute the smell of oil...
No.
You see, it just goes to show you.
Yeah.
Some diction lessons I've been taking ain't doing me a bit of good.
Well, to tell you the truth, my good man, I don't really think that any amount of pedagogics could ever penetrate the excessive fat tissues surrounding the anterior section of your anatomy.
Now, that I don't like.
What?
If it means what I think it does, I'll smack you right in the nose.
Well, never let it be said that a Morgan shirked a challenge. Here, just knock this chip off my shoulder.
You mean your head?
Well, that's the camel that breaks the elephant's back. Bob Taylor.
What's the matter, Frank?
Well, I choose you for my second. I've been challenged to a fistic encounter with Mr. Rosenbloom, and I accept.
You accept? What's
Yes.
the matter with you, Frank? Did you forget that Rosenbloom here used to be a world champion?
I don't. It doesn't matter. What? Oh, yes, champion. Well, I...
Oh, no. Well, nothing. Now, it's too late to see you back. Maybe this will teach you a lesson. Stop bragging.
Well, I don't, you come, well, all right. Just here, hold my vest, my tie, and here's my shirt. Now I'm ready.
Hey, wait a minute, Morgan.
What?
If you're going to fight me, what are you going that way for? I'm
Well-
over here.
Well, who's going to fight? I'm going out for a sunbath. So,
Well, Maxie, it was swell of you to drop in and say it.
It was very delicious of you to ask me, Bob. I guess now I'd better scram, huh? The time allotted me has expired. I read that on my insurance policy.
Yeah, well, Maxie, look, if you don't have to rush away, why don't you stick around and meet the rest of the gang?
Sure, I'll do that. Thanks. Unquote.
Phil Regan returns with another song. This time it's one of those Irish ballads he does so well. A Little Bit of Heaven.
Have you ever heard the story of how Ireland got its name? I'll tell you so you'll understand from whence all Ireland came. No wonder that we're proud of that dear land across the sea. For here's the way, me dear old mother, all the tale to me. Sure, a little bit of heaven fell from out the sky one day and nestled in the ocean is a spot so far away. And when the angels found it, sure it looked so sweet and fair. They said, suppose we leave it, for it looks so peaceful there. So they sprinkled it with stardust, yeah, to make the shamrocks glow. Is the only place you'll find them, no matter where you go. Then they dotted it with silver to make its lake so grand. And when they had it finished, should they call it
Nice work, Phil. Nice work.
Thank you, Bob.